Today on Commonly Good MTG, we are playing a deck that's called Ferocification. So I was poking around in the current meta area of Untapped GG, found this particular deck, and I've never seen Ferocification before. And from what I can tell about the rest of the deck, it seems to be a fairly standard deck. I mean, I guess we have Unstoppable Slashers, brand new, Heartfire Heroes from Bloomburrow, but other than that, these cards have been around for a while. But Ferocification, why haven't we seen this? It looks pretty kick-ass. All right, so if this deck looks interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Commonly Good MTG. I'm your host, voted by my high school class to be most likely to grow up to be the Slender Man, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on Untapped GG. It was posted recorded by ESPL-FEEL. And he called it Test. I thought, let's test this one out. That's something he's forced us to do by calling it Test. And you know what? I thought it kicked ass. I thought it was super cool. The big thing in my test plays is Ferocification. That's why I just named the deck Ferocification. This thing's been around since Thunder Junction, yet I've never seen Ferocification. I've never played it. I've never had it played against me, to the best of my knowledge. Ferocification is kick booty. That's what I got to say. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this deck out. We're going to talk a little bit about what these cards do. And let me just start that whole section again. We're going to take a look at these cards. We're going to talk about what this deck should do, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. There we go. All right, what do we got? Let's talk about Ferocification first. So it's an enchantment. At the beginning of your combat, you get to choose one of the following. Target creature gets +2/+0, or target creature control gains menace and haste. Great, right? If you get multiple of those out, you can choose multiple. We have 4 of them in here, so we can just start powering all of our forces with this crap. So let's just keep that in mind. Things can either have haste and menace, or they can have +2/+0. What do we got? Heartfire Hero. Whenever he becomes the target of a spell for the first time, he gets a Popo counter. And whenever he dies, he deals damage equal to his power to each opponent. So if he comes out and you end up putting haste on it, he gets a Popo counter. If he comes out, on his turn, you just put +2/+0 on it, he gets another Popo counter, which means that he'll attack the first time as a 2/2, and then on the next attack he'll become a 5/3, something like that. So this guy can go nuts. Of course, you got to wait till at least turn 3 before you put this guy out. But still, this guy can go nuts and just start blossoming because of his own getting touched, blossoming himself up thing. 2 points to any creature or player, 3 points to any creature or player, or planeswalker or battle, or whatever you feel like touching, any target. This guy comes out as a 1/1 with haste, and you can draw a card and discard a card. You can create a treasure token, or you can put a wicked roll attached to something. I like to put him onto the Heartfire Hero. Unstoppable Slasher has got Death Touch. Whenever it deals damage to an opponent, they lose half their life rounded up. And if it dies and it has no counters on it, so don't put any counters on it, you return it to the battlefield tapped under your opponent's control with 2 stun counters on it. So she is unkillable. You can exile her, and that would be bad. But other than that, this little Terminator is unkillable. Yep. All right, so Voldaren Thrillseeker allows you to throw things. It's got a fling built into it, but you have to do it on the turn it comes into play. So it costs 3 to put out and 1 to activate the sacrifice creature ability. So if you get something pumped up pretty big, maybe because of Ferocification, then you can fling it after it does its damage, doing double the amount of damage, all that kind of good stuff. Worst case scenario, you just fling it. Rampaging Raptor comes out, trample and haste. Already has haste, so Ferocification, you start throwing those +2/+2s on it. Whenever it deals damage to an opponent, you can deal damage to an opponent's planeswalker as well, which is fantastic when you start seeing those planeswalkers hit. Right here, we got Double Strike. Double Strike is fantastic on the Unstoppable Slasher because it goes out, does one strike, and then they lose half their life. And then it does a second one, and then loses half their life again. So if somebody had 20 life, it would be 2 points equal 18. Then it would be -9 for half their life. And then 2 points brings them down to 7. And then minus, what is that, 4? So bringing them down to 3 points by just doing double strike on an Unstoppable Slasher against somebody with 20. All right, so that's it. That's your deck. We got a nice collection of dual lands and some regular lands. What are we going to do? We're going to hit the board with little dudes. We're going to control the board with our shocks and our lightning strikes. Get out Ferocification. Make your dudes hasty as all heck. And slam. When they don't need haste, you give them +2. If you need to skedaddle around somebody that's standing in the way, you can also pass out Menace. The more of these things you have out, the more options you have. All right, so that's it. Before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against SnowyOne. I would have got some kills, Ferocification, Voldaren Thrillseeker. Let's shut this guy up. All right, I'd like to pick up another creature. That would be really great. All right, we can go hardcore Voldaren, but I'm not going to sacrifice her. Shock's not going to do it. Give her a little haste and menace. All right, that's our place. Shock is a little on the understated side here. This deck cannot recover from control. All right, let's go, Joe. And here we go. He's got a single mana. He can't shoot this thing at 4 with a single mana. His next turn, who knows? What we got here? Lightning Strike for 3. All right, let's okay, let's see what we can do. Yeah, it's fine. All right, we got Trample. You could block for 1. I'm not sure that's high on your things to do, but you are. You want to try that trick again? And we win. I just say we win that particular interchange. Ice down to 5. All right, so he's got to stay back as a defender if he wants to have a chance here. He's out of cards. He gambled it all and lost on that mouse. Trick or treat! Yeah, okay, great. And we win! Suck it, SnowyOne! Suck it! Alright, we are playing again, SmokeBobby. Move it. Got the hero, auto pay. I shocked us for taking on something small. Unfortunately, he's just going to control. All right, it's Terminator, man. Terminator is so great. Unless he starts exiling, which I don't see it happening. All right, let's give this a shot. You gonna try to kill the Terminator? Fine. You guys own Terminator. It's down to 10. Problem is I can't kill it with a shock, so I gotta just sit there and suck it. As one does. Ooh, he's got 2 of them. All right, Singleton 1. Should I take that thing out is the question. All right, there we go. And both of his guys are sucking it. I guess I'm using that. Let's try not to use suck it quite as much. They're just back there, choking it down, not able to move, stunned out of oblivion. And we win! Suck it, SmokeBobby! In your face. All right, up against KseLT. Yeah, all right. I get up to 5 mana, it'd be great. 2/2/2 and nothing to do. Ooh, getting close. Welcome back. Bump, 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 bump. You can kill it now if you want. Bump, 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 bump. I do want to put him out. I need 5 mana. And she is dead. We chased her off. All right, so if we do this, he'll probably throw our pal in front of it. Let's just throw this out. Ferocification. He's got to be strong enough to take it out. That's cool. All right, let's do this. Manage and haste. That's good. All attack. Double strike. All right, down to 8. He's back up to 10. What is he doing at that? Oh, that's because he drew a card. That's why. All right, Terminator's going to untap on this next turn. You just tapped your only guy. Oh, you're wiping out everybody. Look who's back. Double menace and haste because of Ferocification. Here we are in the eyeball room. Victory! I'm playing against Goobernot. Yeah, look at that. All red cards and just black mana. Let's keep that dragon sleeping. So there's deals. Ferocification or Unstoppable Slash are the best next move. I'm thinking Ferocification. It's got immediate effect. Yeah, and then we get hasty out on the other guy. Our next decision is based upon what he does next. He's just trying to draw cards. Oh, down to 5. All right, we got lethal on this next turn. He's still just drawing cards. He's got a single mana left. I don't see it, man. I think he lost. All right, let's put out the Thrillseeker. It's just more fun this way. And we win. Boom, boom. Double hits to the face. Goes to the room. Victory! All right, we're playing against rasca. All right, 3 is where we're going to start getting things all up. Ferocification is definitely the next best move. What are you? I guess I could always... You can take your damage, huh? All right, we can put the slasher out next turn. We give him haste. That's fine. Let's just go to town. $18, that's only 3 turns away from being able to kill him. You don't have enough mountains. This will take out Koth on the next turn. That's 6 points to Koth. Yeah, usually you sit there and try to slip it over to Unstoppable Slasher to give her haste, but it wasn't necessary. You got another one in you? Nope. We win it. Winner, winner! Victory dinner! Fire playing against CorpseWizard. We only have one creature. That is not great. I don't need the 4th mana right now. We're fine with what we got. She's on the weenie side. I don't know why you'd waste your mana on that. Here comes a stupid mouse. Pump. Trying to combo up on me here. All right, that's gonna be 10. Let's see what can we do here. I said I could put out this guy and I could shoot something, but we could just blow his guys away too. They like to get along. All right, he's down to 8. I'm at 7. He's got no guys. All right, can I just win this game with this next round here? Let's put this slasher out. All right, so that's half your life and menace. And you win. You lose right there, dude. And we win! Victory! All right, we're playing against Noir Humer. Whom you were. All right, so 2, 3, and these guys are essentially 4s. All right, number 3. I'm really hoping to get a good double strike off of the Unstoppable Slasher. There we go. Look at that. That was beautiful. We come in with Rampaging Raptor on the next turn. Old trampoline 4/4. He puts out a guy. We can Voldaren Thrillseeker. You're about to lose it all, man. You're just putting too much onto there. I mean, I know that's all you can see. And we win. Good job, Unstoppable Slasher. Victory! Alright, we're playing against Kannellos. Kannellos. What is it? Kannellos. I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. They actually got rid of the one card I really, really wanted. Like, he knew what Ferocification was all about. All right, there's 2 mana. This guy's going full discard on us. Tiny Bones. Any good discard deck, he's probably done. All right, so I got the other Slasher, which leaves you with the 2-headed Hunter. Exile's not great. You can take a Heartfire Hero from me. All right, we slipped it out. You got lots of guys. You can come steal my dudes at this point. I'm surprised you would take that one. All right, so you have 2 dudes. That's fine. Ooh, that is a weird selection. I didn't know you could do that. But yeah, you didn't give yourself what you needed. That's all we need. There we go. Double strike. We turn off your TVs there for you. Yeah, sucks. Half your life rounded up, and we took off 1 point. Victory! All right, so we are with Ferocification, and you know, it was an okay deck. I think the deck had a lot of potential, and I think the deck was really interesting, and the way it played was super cool. But playing against the current meta, it didn't have a lot of teeth. There was, I mean, sometimes it just went crazy town, and other times it just flopped over and died right in my hand there. So let's talk about why it was so good and why it was so bad. Number one, what was bad about it? Somehow we kept getting so much black mana. And if you take a look up there, we have 5 black mana and 11 mountains. I don't know how we got so much black mana. That didn't seem like it could be. It had to be a shuffler screwing me over. There's so much red in here, and yet we kept getting black. And that just is, you know, statistically, it's not possible. What else was not right about this deck? This deck loved to come out with things that cost 3. And you can see there was a lot of things in the third column there. But there's so many times I had nothing going on for round 1 and 2. Because there's 3, 4, and 5, which everything that else was going on there. So I was in a non-aggro way for quite a long time, just trying so hard. There's a lot of times where I can only get 2 mana out of it. And we take a look, we had 25 land. There is 0 reason why we should be mana screwed with this deck. So yeah, I gotta believe that statistically, it just shouldn't have been that way. It shouldn't have been. So I just can't say it's the deck's fault. It seems like it was Arena's fault for causing that to happen. What was great about this deck? The fact that Ferocification was the key. I mean, you had that card, and it's like they got a +2/+0, or they got Menace and Haste, which means you give your guys haste if they didn't already have it, which means you get Unstoppable Slasher out with haste. This guy comes out haste, you give him +2. He was hitting for 6. You got double strike on top of guys. Oh, it was so good. Everybody in here was making use of it. You could use the Charming Scoundrel to potentially put something onto the Heartfire Hero, which gave it a Popo counter, as well as then, you know, Ferocification, giving it Popo counters every turn on top of whatever you were doing for it. So Ferocification and Heartfire Hero were comboing like crazy. Yeah, the deck had a lot of synergy, and provided that the randomness was not so big of an issue, this deck should have done a fantastic job. And I saw it happen a bunch. It just, yeah, my win rate was 53%, which is, it's worth playing, but just barely. All right, so let's get to it. Who was the MVP of this deck? It was Ferocification. Ferocification was the name of the deck. It was definitely the reason for it. I could see you putting this into a nice Gruul deck or something, because one thing that Gruul has missing out on a lot of time, or even, you know, with like mono green, is haste. But a lot of times you get out trample dudes, so therefore you could put the +2/+0 on the trample guys, give them haste, and they can hasty trample. Yeah, Ferocification in Gruul would be fantastic. In this deck, it looks like we were doing it just to give it to Unstoppable Slasher. It was fantastic. It was worth it. That was all we were doing in here. That was the only black card, was Unstoppable Slasher. Still, it was decent. It was pretty good. If anything, I kind of felt like Shock was worthless. The thing about Shock is you can shoot people in the face. And so you can use Lightning Strike and Shock to finish games off by going after the player. I would probably turn these into black creature kills because those take out creatures regardless of its size. And we really needed that a bunch. So I'd say if both, if not just one of them, we would put in like Go for the Throat or something like that. But anyways, yeah, Ferocification was the best. Shock was probably the worst. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. Was this deck competitive? I played it at Platinum level. I got 53%. Therefore, it is a competitive deck. It's not as competitive as I would hope for. You know, I'm liking my decks to at least get like 2/3 wins. This was on the underside. At least it beat 50%, but we're not making much progress at that point. I don't think I made any progress on choking on the ladder. Yeah, I can tell you when I was playing this in casual, I think it did worse because this deck doesn't do very good against control. People playing with blue, that would seem to be, you know, if anybody's like counterspelling me, that was the worst. And bouncing my guys back all the time. Some new like crab that was giving my guys stun. That was bad. Blue was the devil. We saw it mostly in casual right now. I don't think it's good enough to play up against the mono red aggros, so you're not going to see it on the ranked ladder as much. But over here, yeah, it didn't do as well in casual as it did over in the ranked. All right, so let's see. Was this deck fun? Yeah. When this deck came together, what I really disliked was when it didn't give me first and second turn picks. You know, I wanted to put out the Heartfire Hero. I wanted to have the Scoundrel on turn 2. I needed to see that ramp occur. Not ramp, the curve. But when I wasn't getting these guys and it started off as 3, I'd still play it, but you know, I was really close to mulliganing it just because I disliked not being able to do things for the first 2 rounds. Especially you don't know what the other people are playing, and there's a lot of aggro out right now. And just taking unbridled damage until turn 3, that was bad. And even then, turn 3, I'm usually trying to throw down an enchantment, and I didn't have anything else going on. And so then turn 4, things started kind of coming in. That's what was rough about this deck. If anything, I might turn back the high-end guys and invest more in the early game. Something like that. All right. So yeah, was it competitive? Just barely. Was it fun when it came together? Yes. Yeah, it was really fun when it did because we just had a lot of great half-lifing actions there, and it was super cool. Lastly, was this deck interesting? Yeah, mostly because it's Ferocification. If you take a look, there's nothing here from Duskmourn, and is there anything here from Bloomborough? Let's take a look. Yeah, this guy's from Bloomborough. So it's not a new deck. And the question is, why haven't we seen Ferocification? This is an incredible card. Like I said, it spawned off, Gruul. That's what I'm saying. I think this would be great in a Gruul deck. Completely would help out quite a bit. So, yeah, I think we should have been seeing this card played a bunch, and yet I don't think I've ever seen it before in my life. So, yeah, it was an interesting deck. In fact, I kept playing it just because I thought it was so incredibly cool to play. I thought it was a cool deck. It's just, there were times that it just didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Just barely. Was this deck fun? When it came together. And was this deck interesting? Every time. All right, so because of that, I'm going to give this deck, I'm going to give it a B+. I'm going to give it a B+, just because it wasn't quite as competitive as I'd hoped. There were times where it wasn't fun at all because it just depended on who you're playing with and what kind of cards you got when you first drew. But at least the interest kept it going. I got to give it a B+. It's totally worth playing, and mostly to learn about Ferocification and what it could do for you. And the rest of these cards are super cool, yet against the current meta, it doesn't really hold up as being something worth being played. So there you go, B+ deck. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope you have as much fun with it as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.